Thanks. Hi, Jasmine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. So we talked at the beginning of the season, but I've been loving Ashley's journey as a whole throughout the season. Just like I keep thinking about the episode when they go and stay in the prison house because it's just so good on so many levels for her character. And so, what for you has been the most exciting part of like getting to dive into how she's feeling so much more in this season compared to season one?
Um, I just think we've really come to a point where she's just been in denial, right? So by the time we get to episode 4, Trish points it out and she goes, "You're depressed."
Mhm.
She's like, what do you mean? It's like for, all these 4 episodes, even like right at the beginning, she's just like off her rocker. And like everybody notices it except her. And so in episode 5, we start to pivot, right? Because something bad, she does a bad thing in 5. And, that heightened verse that she does, you really see that she has like come face to face with herself, I think, in an honest way. And so, like, from there on, it gets really crazy. And so I think we see more ugly parts of Ashley. I think we see more of her flaws in season 2. I think
Mhm.
in season 1, she's just really trying to keep it together. And she's she's doing well, considering. And I think in season 2, it's just weathered on her, you know.
Mhm.
And so I think that's really fun to play. I think we just get to see more sides of her, her anger, how upset she is, which is real. I think it's so real. Um and in the end, she gets it together a little bit, but you really just see this roller coaster of emotions that she's going through in this season. And how is she going to get through it? I think like it's really cool to see, like, oh, that just happened. All right, like, how is she going to tackle that? It's
Gonna
like,
go back.
what are we going to do now? There's a lot of that in season 2, which I think is exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, you were literally on a roller coaster. With one of my favorite shots, I think, in a show ever, where it is you two trying to keep it together. And at parts, I was like, God, I love that you could tell like they are literally on a roller coaster trying to be like, I'm acting.
Oh, we rode that roller coaster like 9 times, and I'm gonna tell you something, it was one of the hardest things I ever did in this show, because you try going on a roller coaster in the front row seat and not make any face. I'm gonna tell you, it is one of the hardest things to do.
I mean, you killed it. And it was very funny because like Trish could have a little bit more of an emotion. So I looked and like Jalen would be like sitting like this and like make a face when she like went over a bump. But I was like, I couldn't do it. Like I was fascinated by that shot because I was like, it's so good. But I would have made a face 100%.
Yeah, so hard.
Uh, but what I love this show and like Blindspotting as a whole from the movie into the series. But what I really love about this season is just kind of getting to explore all these characters we met in season 1 in a deeper way. Like while it's still Ashley and Miles's journey and their relationship and them raising Sean together, we also get to see like kind of Ashley's relationships with her friends who have been there for her. And you're like the dynamic with Helen Hunt is so good in this season too. What is like for you the like how do you kind of approach building those relationships with actors and making that connection come across?
You know, when we first did season 1, like, it was a crazy time during the pandemic. We didn't get a lot of time to establish these relationships.
Mhm.
So it really shows you like how good these actors are on this show, and how that they've done the work and they've analyzed these scripts. And so these characters, these actors come together on set that haven't really seen each other or spoke to each other like that, and have done their own research on their own character. And then you kind of put us all in a room and you're like, okay, now go play, explore. That's really what we did on this show. And it worked out, I think, really perfectly. But I think like season 1 was all about establishing who these people are. So really in this season, like we really got to play, and so when I'm doing these scenes with Helen, like we're so grounded in who we are as these characters that we really get to go head to head. We really get to explore and play. And I think that is something that we are all comfortable with as a cast. And so we all challenge each other in that way. And I think like, kudos to casting, because I think everybody is so damn good on the show. And I think everybody knows what they're doing,
Mhm.
So we really do have that freedom to speak up, to say what we need, say what we want, say what we think the characters should feel, and give room for other people to talk as well. So it's to be able to kind of have that freedom and to be emotionally comfortable with each other to really go there and play,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think as a quick last thing, I do love like you said, we're seeing Ashley break. And I understand the thought of like you're rushing, you're trying to keep your kid happy, you're trying to like make sure your life is in order. And then when you realize like everything you've been doing wrong, it kind of is like the trickle down effect of that. But like what do you hope, whether it be post season 2 or something we haven't seen yet in the season, what is your hope for Ashley's future, like where she's going and like the emotional journey she's kind of on post this last episode?
what do I hope for her? um I hope that she can be, I just hope that she can be happy. I think there's a lot that she's been through in these past 2 seasons,
Hmm.
and there's a lot that she's gonna probably go through as well, because, we've got a deal now with Miles being out of prison, and what that happens to a person when they
Hmm.
have to come back to the real world, and I think there's a lot of problems that comes with that as well. So I think we all just hope that this family can stay together, and we all hope that they're going to be okay,
Yeah.
despite the fact. Um, and that she can let go in a more, I think, healthy way, not let go in a self-destructive way.
Yeah, same. I love the show so much. When I did the press day, I got to talk to Atticus for like 10 minutes. And I was like, this is the cutest kid I've ever like just seen in the wild trying to do press questions.
Oh, he's the best.
Um,
I love
I
it.
do hope he gets to go see The Little Mermaid and have the time of his life seeing
Oh,
Sebastian, because I feel like he's would love that movie a lot.
yeah.
But thank you so much for talking with me today. I can't wait for audiences to get to see the rest of the season, but I want so many more seasons of Blindspotting because I just love this show as a whole. I think it's so good.
Oh, thank you so much. We do too.
Of
So
course.
that would be great.
Yeah, everyone listening, we need more. But thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah.